JEM is my name, no one else is the same. JEM is my name. JEM.
So I had some notes when it came to the Stingers arc. But I found the annual refreshing little palate cleanser. So now we have the Misfits arc. So the Misfits are out of a job, so to speak. Their label dropped them. So what are they going to do now? Well, I guess that's what this arc is about. And they're going to play beach volleyball! Because it's fun. Except for the sand. I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. I mean, for as much crap as Anakin gets over that little soliloquy, he ain't wrong. Sand sucks. So, Pizzazz and the girls are playing beach volleyball. Clash informs them that Eric Bad Guy is here. And he tells them that essentially they're done. They are toxic. No one will touch them. They're a great band, but their reputation precedes them, and no one wants to put up with their nonsense. But Eric Bad Guy has found possibly one thing they could do to get back on top. A reality TV show. So, a reality TV show with JEM and the... I'm sorry, not JEM and the Holograms, with the Misfits. Starring the Misfits. Just point the cameras at the Misfits and enjoy their shenanigans. Yeah, that might work. But Pizzazz is an artiste. She's not in it for the fame. I mean, she likes the fame, but, you know, it's about the art. It's about the music. As she says somewhere in this story, she says, "I'm not an actor. I'm a musician. That's what I do." But Eric Bad Guy clarifies, that's fine. You know, you can make the show about whatever you want. In fact, they're kind of counting on it being about music and being you guys just being obnoxious and ridiculous, because that sells. So, it's either that or a cruise ship, and not one of the good ones. So, at this point in the story, I'm thinking, what it feels like, first of all, it feels like they're just genuinely not sure what to do with Eric Bad Guy in the comic. I don't know that they've found what his deal is. He started out when he was introduced in this book as "We will destroy JEM and the Holograms, and I will hire Tech Rat to find out something on him." And it's like, what? Why? And then they went, "Yeah, why? Why, man? Why?" And then he just kind of turned into a general band manager. So now we seem to be kind of maybe trying to split the difference. He's still just genuinely the Misfits band manager. But he also is with Pizzazz in her grudge against JEM and the Holograms. Not so much the Stingers. But I mean, he's not like maniacal cackling bad guy about it, but he's like, yeah, I'm with you. If I wasn't, I wouldn't still be your manager. So, okay, we'll see where that goes. And it's also nice to see, we get some more details about, you know, Pizzazz and her thought processes. She does recognize her shortcomings, which, and I've talked about this in earlier videos as a fellow angry person. Yeah, you know, when we explode in anger and do things that are bad, actually, it's not that we don't realize that. We do realize that. But we've lost control, and it's too late. And that makes it even worse. Leads to self-loathing. It leads to making you even more angry. So, yeah, not a good place for anyone to be in. Now, Pizzazz she recognizes that a lot of where they are is her fault. And she goes through an entire, basically everything that she's done that ended up sinking the Misfits to where they are now throughout the entire comic series. And it's interesting and nice to see our anti-hero have a healthy semblance of self-awareness when it comes to responsibility. I mean, she still does. It's not like she's putting it all on herself. She still blames JEM and the Holograms and the Stingers. But she also recognizes her own role in the band's predicament. So, at this point, getting back to what I was saying, at this point I was thinking, I have a fear that the creative team is conscious that the Stingers arc just wasn't working for various reasons I articulated in the previous videos, and we're trying to course correct and just let's get the Misfits back to classic cartoon Misfits where they're just making mischief and doing all kinds of crazy things, and the excuse we're using is, hey, reality television, that's a vehicle we can use to get the Misfits where we want them. And I'm like, okay, but I don't know if... Again, I'm not saying they are doing this. This is just in the first few pages of the book where my light concern was. It's like, I don't know, that feels like kind of a cop-out if that's where we're going. I don't think retreating to what was done on the show is the right method. And while the idea of the Misfits on their own reality show is interesting, and I think there's a lot of fun that could be had there, it's also, I don't know, it feels too much like we're just using it to get to classic Misfits that we all know and love because stuff wasn't working. But I said to myself, I'm only on like page 8, so let's continue reading and see where it goes from here. And where it went from here, interestingly, is a series of flashbacks talking about how Pizzazz was broadly abandoned by her parents, and we've talked about this before. So they divorced. Dad has full custody, but neither of the parents were at the lawyer meeting to describe the results of the custody agreement. And Mom gets visitation rights every other Christmas. Wow. So that's Pizzazz when she was 12 or 13 or something like that. And so it quickly flashes forward through the years where she picked up Stormer and Roxy, and then she picked up Jeddah, and then she picked up Clash in a coffee shop because she needed a gopher. And then it fast forwarded to a couple months ago where she had a conversation that we were not privy to in the book, where she talked to Blaze. Blaze revealed that she knew that Elise, the CEO or whatever of 5x5, wanted to either return to the Misfits classic sound or drop them entirely. And so Blaze told Pizzazz, she says, I love this band, I love being a part of it, but I don't want to be the cause of its downfall. So if you need to boot me to save the band, that's okay. And as I've speculated before, Pizzazz sees the Misfits as her family. This is her found family. Her family was never there for her, so this is the one she's made for herself. And she's not great at it, and it's also why she is so overly protective of all the members and gets fiercely jealous when they do anything that even has a whiff of betrayal. Hence her overreaction to Stormer's relationship with Kimber, a member of a rival band. So it's interesting to have that extra color to Pizzazz, and she talks to the girls and says, "Okay, this is what we're doing," and they're no, but they're on the Tonight Show or something, talking about their upcoming show, and this is the first time I've caught art being reused, because on this last page, that's the same piece of art. Pizzazz's mouth is open in one, but I think is it Victoria? Victoria Roboto. I think she might have run out of time on this page. It's like, I don't have time to redraw this. Let's just copy it, because same art. You thought I wouldn't notice, Vicky? I noticed. Speaking of art, we have who's been the colorist for most of the issues, Victoria Roboto. And different style from like Sophie Campbell, but definitely a lot closer to the established look and character designs that we've seen throughout the bulk of the issues thus far. So it's a nice it's an attractive art style. I like it. It pleases me. So we're off to an interesting start. Let's see where it goes from